Again, another week, and we stand here again. As we do, we hear reports that over half of Gaza City has been taken control of by the Israelis. And we know this to mean that this is the bombing and the reducing to rubble of residential blocks and of the city. We're past the point of words. Many nations are going to come before the UN summit, the General Assembly this month, and speak out and try and pass statements on recognising Palestine as a state, eventually, and far too late. Because what is going to be left to be a state? There's going to be rubble left. There is going to be a destroyed people. For Palestine to be a state, we would then be thinking about potential elections in the future. Potentially unification of the West Bank and Gaza. We see increasing encroachment of settler communities and groups upon the West Bank. Again, who will be left to vote? At the end of this, we will have a destroyed people in a land that is declared a state, but there will be no one to be able to speak or to vote or to lead it into any form of rebuilding. Meanwhile, our leaders will pat themselves on the back for doing the right thing. But words are not enough. We need actions, we need sanctions, we need boycotts of Israel. We need to stop all the selling of arms to Israel by the UK government. However, the likelihood of that happening seems very slim, considering that the UK Prime Minister shook hands with President Herzog at Downing Street and met with him this week. It's hard to have hope when our UK Prime Minister seems so firmly on the side of the Israeli government, while arresting protesters and undermining the right to protest and the definition of terrorism across the UK.
I've come up visiting from London and has been involved in protests in London about this, and although I'm on holiday, I think this is an issue that really can't be forgotten and put away just because one's on holiday. I just feel for everybody in Palestine, so it is great to be here with my friends and others from the area to express our deep anxieties and scared for the future for you all. We're thinking of you.
As it comes to 2 o'clock again today, to thank everybody for coming out in your huge numbers again. We really appreciate it. And I also just wanted to say a bit about the meeting that happened this morning in the St Magnus Centre with our MP Alistair Carmichael and our MSP Liam MacArthur. Thanks to everybody who attended that and for your questions and input. It has been really important to have a platform to have that discussion and exchange of views with our politicians. People will have their own opinions, I think, on how that meeting maybe went, and I think there was maybe a little bit of frustration that we're not going, or our politicians aren't going fast enough and quick enough and deep enough on some of these issues. But I think the fact we had everybody in a room was very, very useful. And then bringing that back to our connections with people in the region in Palestine. In this week, my conversations with the friends in the Shupat refugee camp, they were very heartened that we did have that opportunity to talk to politicians. We were able to put their questions to them to say, what are you going to say to the people of Palestine in your role as MPs and MSPs? When is this genocide going to end? When are we going to see a stop to this ethnic cleansing? And to be honest, the Alistair and Liam, I felt, were pretty honest in their response to that. They were saying, no, we don't know. This is going on and on. We can't give an answer to these things. And I got the impression there was this feeling of some level of helplessness in there. But I think that what they are saying, that they say things are complicated, they say things are nuanced, they say things are moving. But I think what we need to do as a group is to continue pushing that, to move more quickly, to make things less complicated, to find a way through so that we can make a bit of a difference to people on the ground in Palestine and Gaza sooner rather than later. So thanks again for your continued support, and we'll be here again next week. Thanks everybody.
Thank you.